Every single time we speak to any of the clients, it could be a patient, it could be people we are selling anything to, and especially right now, having had the opportunity to work under one of India's leading sound healers. From what I feel, having leading the entire sales team, is the actual sale begins when the client says no. Now, it's not just about the way that they say no, but the exclusive reasons why they say no. And as sales equals service for me, it becomes even more important for us to understand the logic behind conversations, the logic behind how we perceive the whole concept of objections. So, in today's episode, we are going to dive deep step by step on breaking the entire process down on how do I even go about sharing any of the objections. Now, it's also very important to understand that at the end of the day, objections are genuine reasons that's holding people back on moving forward. So, 18, yeah, today's episode number 18. Welcome to this, and we will be slowly breaking the entire process down on what exactly happens. So, to begin with, the first and the most important thing will be to know that it's like the understanding level, something that's going to help them move the needle. And the more you are able to move them forward by clarifying their genuine doubts, the easier it is for them to move forward down the line and accordingly go through. So, I will guide you through specific scenarios where I've always faced certain kind of challenges when it comes to the whole process of handling objections. To begin with, let's start with a difficult period that I experienced in one of my previous companies. So I wanted to set up a lot of AI chatbots, which makes it easy for us to come up with marketing campaigns, sales calls, and analyzing the transcripts and everything. And my boss was like, this is way too risky. And I had two options. I could feel like, oh my God, he's made me do such a big research, and now he's suddenly telling me that, oh, it's too risky, so we're not going to do it at all. So instead of reacting, in every objection, the best way to get started is by asking questions. And it's like a beautiful knob that goes to twists and turns and all of those things to come up with the right logic, which ensures that they are able to be with you. So I simply asked, from what I'm able to understand, is you're concerned that this doesn't sound safe. Is that correct? There's a lot of privacy issues. There is a lot of data and data leaks, and all of these things can happen. There are risks involved. Is that correct? And the moment I opened up with a question, the details about his concern opened up. And then the conversation soon flowed in for me to go deeper into the problem. And then one by one, got every single thing sorted. And then he was ready, gave me a thumbs up to move ahead. Now, what did I do here? I just asked questions and then went deep into the root cause of the problem, root cause of his concern, and that helped me break through. The second will be with one of my recent colleagues. Surya, you are so good at what every single time you speak, every single time you give presentations. But I really want to speak like you, but it is so difficult for me. Public speaking is just not for me. Now, this is a perspective, need not be the truth. And the logic that I need to put in is how well I'm not just able to talk to her about it, but also understand where she's coming from. The same thing. In this manner, what I'm going to be doing in the previous situation, what I did is I use the conversion loop, which means looping back to my point by asking a question. In this case, in this step, what I will do is I will validate the perspective by saying, I completely understand and I completely get that. In fact, the first time I spoke on stage, I peed in front of the whole school. What is it going to make her feel then? Oh, at least I didn't do anything of this sort. And then don't you think they'll be in a much better position to be able to listen to me? And then understanding the whole logic over here is validating. Now, validating doesn't really mean agreement. It's just that you show a sign of respect for them to trust you so that then you can break through what's actually bothering. So, definitely, it's not easy to begin with, but what's the real thing that's bothering you? We know that it's not public speaking. What is it? And then the answer came, no, my accent is not so good. People will laugh at me. Okay. What if people don't even get to know? And I initiated in one of those chat GPT voice enabled practice exercise for 30 days. She did improve. Where there's a will, there is a way. But in order to find the way, you need to ease through the what they are feeling at that point of time. For the third aspect is when in any of those sales calls, it's like the generalization kicks in. The what's that word? I'm not able to the uh, yeah, I'm not able to find the words, so I'm not even going to go there. It's like the same things getting repeated over again, and the clients are like, oh, this is what it is for every situation. The generalization, those all of those things. So we've tried this before, but it doesn't really work. Now, usually during my initial sales days, I would get really irritated, but then I realized it's more about understanding where is it coming from. So I would move away from resistance and turn my tonality into curiosity. And that would be, I completely hear you. Could you let me know a little bit more when you say that we've already tried this before? Can you tell me what exactly have you tried and what unfolded? So I'm just trying to peel off a few layers. And once the layers are peeled off, and then I tell them, okay, but you told me that you've tried this before. However, are you able to notice that in this particular step in the journey, there is a gap that is unfulfilled? Is there a possibility that if you could just plug in that gap, everything could be solved? The next set of steps are done. And what would you feel if you're making a pizza, but you just forgot to add the pizza sauce itself or the cheese itself? Don't you think the all the veggies and everything is just going to fly off? So I connect it with a metaphor. Like, yeah, what you say makes sense. So what is your plan all about? Or what is your program all about? And that's it. I've got the window. So it all begins with reframing the energy of the conversation by asking a this or that question, a question that sparks their curiosity, that takes away from the generalization to the specifics. Okay. So, and finally, this is my most favorite framework. I would often feel that during some calls, people would go about sharing about their life, when they got married, how many kids they have, and all that. It's not relevant for the conversation. So I would just loop them back by saying, well, keeping all these things that you've just been sharing with me, how do you think the next step of this program is going to help you creating an impact for those people in case if you take this forward? And then what they are in a zone of giving me an explanation of how this particular program is going to impact them and benefit them. Does that make sense? So when I kept doing all of these, now this is called as looping back to a question towards your point. Yeah, so that's when you look at all these different scenarios that I just spoke to you about. These are all real life scenarios, and these are scenarios that we face every day. Whether your partner asks you to get the groceries, throw the garbage, bring the clothes, whether it's your mom telling you to choose the right career path to go and visit a relative's house, whether it's your relatives calling and telling you for some form of a free pass or some kind of an additional help that they need from you, which otherwise they will never even call you. For each of these scenarios, it's only the practical scenarios that helps you learn all these things. And the more you do it, the more you realize that it becomes easier. Again, when you join our cohort, we will get to know more about it as we put you through all these different scenarios also. But at the end, the way that I would like to close is every single time you communicate, you have a choice to just continue with that one form of communication monotone where one person is just giving unlimited gyan to the other person when there's actually no conclusion to the whole conversation. Or you can allow the objections to come in, and then use that as a learning step to be able to implement the very next time that you communicate. Yogeshwari and I do this every single time, even the slightest possible conversations of getting the air filled in, whether it's getting the air filled every single time the scooty is taken for the petrol recharge, or asking for that little extra handful of the biryani rice every single time we go for a chicken biryani. Always works. And we are practicing it day in and day out. Question to you: what is the next thing that you are going to practice all about? Again, for all the notes and every single thing, you'll get it all below. Make sure that you check them out, and I will see you tomorrow in episode number 90.